Yo, yo, it's ODB from OLP. This is issue 122 of Mini Truckin Magazine, February 2002. Alfred Gomez's Mazda Cab Plus with graphics, of course, on the cover with Jessica Morrow. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys. This is the first cover with for Subculture. One misconception that goes back to the 90s and into the 2000s was something along the lines of, the editor showed favoritism to their own club. Well, I'm here to tell you the data does not support this. During Lance's tenure, he was the editor for 76 issues. Only 5 Subculture trucks were on the cover. That's roughly 5 or 6%. Does it really matter? No, not in my opinion. See, the quality, like I always say, is where it's at. You would have ran the best trucks or, of course, the most unique stuff, especially on the cover because it was best for the magazine, right? Not just to hook up your boys. Now, did it help knowing the editor or having an in, so to speak, with someone? Sure. I don't think anybody's going to deny that, but the notion that the editors only put their truck club members on the cover is easily debunked, and I will cover that in, with future issues as well. So I wanted to kind of mention that. This is the 4th cover with Arelli wheels. This was only the 15th cover Mazda on the cover, and it was the 10th B2200. The other 5 were B2000. So I know it's a little bit of intel. Some of you guys may appreciate it, some may not, but we have a jam-packed issue to jump into. And that's the fun stuff, right? Say, ODB, stop with all these crazy numbers. We don't care. Some do, some don't. You can see the Mini Truckin logo on the front windshield. Again, Subculture, shout out to them. A year ago, we did Charles Armstrong's truck. It was the 20th anniversary, give or take, at the show itself, mini nats of it being fully done. And we appreciate the support. Everybody that came through, and I know like a lot of Subculture kinfolk, they bought it and they appreciated it, and Lance and Charles kind of letting us do what we did with it and have that little bit of creative control was much appreciated. So thank you guys. Scrub line, recognize. So Lance goes into his editorial, and you can see again with the creative changes they've made, you get a little bit more kind of polished look around some of these pieces of content. I do want to mention too that I know when I go through some of these issues, I don't want to say I tune out, but I go through them the best I can. And I forgot to mention, I put the issue up, but Shannon Bullis's, I know Matt Nupp had mentioned, hey, you should have talked about Shannon's tandem Ranger, and that thing is super sick. And after he said that, I kind of thought back and I was like, yeah, maybe I didn't mention anything, but it's never a slight against any particular person or any shop or anything like that. It's just going over the content. Sometimes things pop in my head and sometimes they don't. So, but if you go back, I think it was the previous issue or 2, that Ranger was sick. The tandem, Shannon Bullis, and he's got the topless Ranger that was on the cover. He's got a few different vehicles, too many to count. Resurrected, super clean, Pathfinder 87. This was Eric Davis. This thing is super sick. Kind of different, the fact that it's an earlier Pathfinder. It's topless. Let's take a closer look. It's just awesome. Or to use the word from Kindiggit, it's bitchin'. It's awesome. I was going to try to remix those 2 words together, but that wasn't going to work out. So there you go. Awesome ride. And then it does have the Colorado custom wheels on it. We are going to make our way. We're getting close to the halfway mark. I can't believe we're at 122 already. And we're not even at the halfway. 122 times 2 would be 240. So we got 269, so we got a little bit ways to go. This East Coast Customs presents 2001 Southeastern Nationals. Again, you can kind of see the theme here. Over the course of time, the word Southeastern and nationals and kind of throwdown. You know, those words kind of go back a good bit. You know, they were kind of used in, you know, we know some shows like Southeast Mini Truck and Nats. You know, that's a show that stayed around. Not all these shows did. Godfather's Spring Jam, so rest in peace to Hal. We had briefly mentioned Hal when we had Bill Hancock on, and Hal was the owner of Godfather. And I never made it to one of these shows. It just wasn't on the radar for us to make it up. This is the Ranger I had mentioned Ranger. This is the S10 I had mentioned from the gentleman that passed away from acrophobia. Rest in peace to him. I was posting every anniversary on some of the mini truckers' passings that were maybe, you know, ones that folks would maybe remember, and trying to kind of pay homage to these guys. And I don't do it every single year just because, you know, I don't want to keep bringing up, you know, for some people, they probably appreciate it. Other people kind of say, man, you know, maybe it brings back memories of their lost loved one. So I've kind of scaled back a little bit on that. But certainly we'll continue to do it, you know, when we feel that it's right. Speaking of that, I know Derek's, the guy that had built the Mazda for the cover of Mini Truck, and the blue one with the welded bed, his family has commented on his stuff. And you know, I appreciate them kind of watching some of the flip throughs and stuff. We'll try to link up with them to pay homage to him. Okay, so this is Alfredo. I might have said that wrong earlier. It's Alfredo Gomez. So no slight against Alfredo. When we recently put Steve's Mazda on our shirt, when I see Steve's Mazda, I think Welcome to the Jungle. And I think Alfredo had commented, and he had chimed in on one of our posts, and he goes, oh, it would have been cool to use Welcome to the Jungle on your Welcome to the Jungle artwork. And again, it's definitely no slight against him. I think Welcome to the Jungle, those colors of Steve's truck, which is on our current artwork, but certainly this truck is known as Welcome to the Jungle. Survival of the Fittest was the subtitle. Dude, I haven't looked at, I mean, I know this truck, but I haven't looked at this issue in probably 20 years. Other than doing some of my recon when I went through it. I mean, that was like more of a kind of a quick type deal that I was going through to get intel. But this truck is super, super, super awesome. Alfredo, dude, like, sick. Love the graphics, love the wheels. It looks like, being that he was from Kansas, not in Kansas anymore, I would assume, and he might be able to chime in. Maybe Lance's, like, was this maybe, this would have been a few months after SEMA. Did it go to SEMA that year or something, for stereo or something? This truck is sick, and you can see the awesome, lovely model. Jessica Morrow. What do you guys think of this one? You Jealous, cool tag. Again, you can see the graphics there. And a very cool layout. You know, I like the blue, the contrasting here. You can see Welcome to the Jungle in the back. Man, so many of us, we grew up with these walls, so to speak. And being a Cab Plus, awesome. The seats with the headrest gone, and just, I mean, this is pure mini truck right here. Pure mini truck in. You can see the Rockford stuff there. Look how clean the engine bay is. Dude, that's what dreams are made of right there for a Mazda guy. So sick. So clean. And of course, you see a lot of light coming in here. Whether that's just the sunlight there where they shot it or what. But looks super awesome. Pretty cool stuff. And you can see this was part of the interview. That's what I was trying to say. You can see there, Street Beat, giving some love. Welcome to the Jungle on the tailgate. And then look how clean this interior is. Dude, just a clean center console, huge speaker pods, real, I mean, just the perfect mix. You really would be hard-pressed to find something cooler from this era. Now, I'm going to put this up here because I want to give the proper credit here. It was PPG Bright Orange by Custom Concepts in Oklahoma. After that, Kevin and Randy Cox did their work. Charles Armstrong, so that's one I wanted to mention. So being that he was in Subculture, these guys had connections in the right places, and of course, Charles Armstrong laid down the graphics. I believe all the graphics from what I remember, but I wanted to kind of get that correct. So thanks for bearing with me there. Charles Armstrong, the legend. And it's cool that ever since having him on, kind of become, buddies with him and talk to him here and there and try not to bother him. He recently moved, as I mentioned, but, he had a Lincoln 65 and I helped him with some things on it as far as intel. He appreciated that, and what's what you do for your homies. Jamie Tiffany. So here's the 88 Dodge D50. And this goes on to be one of the sickest trucks built. I mean, look, let's recognize real. I know that, quote, sickest truck built could easily be hundreds of trucks, but this is definitely a super clean, awesome truck. It's still around. Last I heard, this is the one, right, that the detail company owned. So, not sure who has it now. William Stacks. Those wheels, though. Remember those? Good stuff. If you like what we're doing, leave a comment. And if you're on, some of you guys might be on Substack. Look me up, ODBs with an S, ODBs Life. I'm going to be doing some Substack stuff. That's reading, here's obviously a lot of video and audio. And on Substack, it's, like a lot of journalists and things like that. But I'm going to be, testing the waters on putting some content there, and, maybe you guys will appreciate it. It's free. There is an option to give, but I'm not at a point where I would ask anybody to give anything. Just follow me on Substack if you want. Here you go, custom work. So this is the Mazda that Eli bought, and then he redid twice. Thing is super sick. And this is Showfest, by the way. And I remember literally, I was just watching the video the other day where I took video of the truck, Heather's truck. Super sick. And Showfest became one of the biggest, baddest shows of all time for mini trucks. You got the cover Ranger here. I remember seeing this guy. Seeing this thing in person was awesome. You got Matt Long's Blazer, which we just saw recently. This S10 was super sick, which this is the engine bay from it. Love that mod where they, have the core support with the filler deal. You had a little bit of cruising going on, of course, at the show, but mostly on the strip. And then there's the famous, I posted video of that RA Ranger. It was super sick that it had the graphics on the inside of the doors. Here is Eric Stiles, his 90 Ford Ranger from Illinois. And you can immediately see from this paint, this is the company that's painted a couple of different rides. The Custom Shop, was it? I could just tell from the graphic style. It looks so damn good. These Rangers, I mean, they weren't built like S10s in terms of the quantity, because they were harder and maybe not as many parts. But I mean, look how nice this truck is, man. I wasn't always a fan of the Ranger, these year Ranger interiors. Look how nice that door panel looks. You can see the dash. Yeah, that ain't no Ranger dash. Freaking sick. Check it out. So, although I tend to forget, there were more than a handful of guys that ran the Mustang dashes, which was awesome. And it's good stuff. The Custom Shop in Flanagan, Illinois. That's who it was. Laid down those graphics. Definitely appreciate lately. A lot of you guys have been commenting, bringing back memories and stuff. If you want to hit up ourlifestylepodcast.com, we've got some of the old school stickers. We only vended about 3, maybe 4 shows a year. It depends. We pretty much were at 3, and then if Mike and I can make it to the same show, Mini Nats is going to be out of control. And we've really stocked up some cool stuff. So I hope you guys, you'll probably see this right before Mini Nats 2023. So if you happen to be on the road listening or whatever, come by. I think I glossed over in Finnegan's cover, the last issue. I remember on the cover, I said you could see the switch box. I believe he went to, because I think he did a tech article one time with the PlayStation controller. I think this is what he ended up with, because you could see it on the dash. This was MIC, and pretty cool there. Master Image Customs getting the credit there in the source box. Very, very good issues that they produced here in this time period. The Window of Opportunity. Super clean. Patrick Abney, 91 Toyota. See the NC logo on the front. Super clean. Love the color, the bumper. Really dig it. If you can kind of see, I've been trying to be a little bit more streamlined with the issues. I know some of them can, I look at the camera and I'm like, dang, man, I can kind of go a little long. But these have been kind of moving ahead and keeping that number, that total view time down a little bit, the total for the video length. Waza, there's the photo again. Again, that probably is the photo that appears in the magazine the most. You could maybe argue a back cover or something like that, but that photo itself runs a lot. And then here you go. Was this Street Tour, Street Scene? I think there were two names I always remember. Wasn't Chris one? Some of this stuff, I don't know how it pops back in my head. Here you go. That ties into what Lance wrote. That was the era when everybody was like, Osama bin Laden, take that mother out. So there you go. Good times. And then the back cover, as you'd imagine, MIC, Master Image Customs. If you get an opportunity, again, check out the podcast via any podcast app. You can search OLP. You can go to ourlifestylepodcast.com. Link in the bio, and you can look on the left side, and you can find ways to listen. Podbean is a great way on Android. Apple Podcasts typically is going to be what you land on if you have an iPhone. But I'm a Spotify user, so Spotify is easy as well. Again, Alfredo, if I said that wrong in the beginning, I apologize. Alfredo Gomez's Mazda Cab Plus. That's a mouthful. Super awesome. Again, Subculture, tip of the cap. These guys are awesome. Been around a long time. Love this truck. This is the Welcome to the Jungle truck. Stay on the rise, my friends. And subscribe. Peace.